net. All net. With Mike Logic and Ideal. What up, y'all? Switch.
What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What's going on, man? It's your boy Ideal, and I'm joined alongside with Mike Logic, and this is the All Net Podcast, where we go ahead and wrap up all things Chicago Bulls related. So we got to talk about the victory of today. The Chicago Bulls take on the Indiana Pacers, and as you can see, the beautiful screen at the bottom says they outpaced them. They outpaced Indiana, man. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on, Ideal? Welcome back to All Net for you out there just tuning in. It's been a while. We decided that we were going to change up the format and just strictly talk about the Bulls. And as you can tell, Ideal's in a good mood, so the Bulls must have won. And we're going to talk about our reaction to the game.
A lot of good things to see today. I was really impressed. Apologies to y'all. We were planning to come on earlier, but I was playing under the weather, couldn't get it done. Still got some residual effects, but you know the greatest ones played through the pain, and that's exactly what we're doing here for you guys. Mike says Season 3 on that podcast. Shout out to sponsors, Shot Native. Shout out 606 Media and True Chicago sports fans. Yes.
What up, E-Rock? What up, Big Z?
Chicago Bulls moved to 3-2 on the season. I thought it was an overall very, very complete team performance, you know, especially in the first half, Mike. You commented numerous times how the ball was just jumping around. It was beautiful sight to see, as you say, woo, basketball.
And I love that. I love when the ball is not sticking to one person's hands or just to one particular side and the ball is moving back and forth. People are getting easy looks and everybody's touching the ball, because I really feel like when people are getting involved on the offensive end, it does transfer over to the defensive end as well. And that's what we've been seeing kind of out of Vooch this season. I feel like he's been in a groove already offensively, which historically everybody knows that he kind of starts out a little slower, but he's also been busting his ass on the defensive end as well.
And cleaning the glass like nobody's business. Vooch tonight, 14.7 boards, 4 assists.
Yes.
Solid all-around contribution. As you go down the stat line, you can see a lot of people had a hand in this one. Our guy Pete Will, man, finally, I guess his brother had to challenge him and say, hey, you need to be more aggressive.
Yeah, that's
finally
exactly.
Hits double digits.
That's exactly what happened. They were talking about his brother was challenging him, and whenever you have a family member challenge you to be better, doesn't it mean a little bit more to you?
Well, yes.
Than just the media and the public?
Definitely. I agree with that for sure.
I liked that we got to see P. Will start out this game aggressive. He started out with a terrible take to it wasn't a terrible take to the basket, but it was a terrible finish. But then he followed it up with a 3-point shot, and he had another field goal. I liked seeing the aggressiveness, and also he got a defensive charging call in his favor. So I love that. He finished the game with 10 points, 15 minutes. Does that concern you?
No, actually not. I mean, I guess yes and no. The split the baby in the bathwater, as they like to say. You'd like to see more minutes, but I think it was also
Javonte only got 2 more minutes than him.
It's just really what I was trying to allude to is if you go down the stat sheet, a lot of Blade, man. Everybody got some run today, you know?
Billy went with a very deep rotation. I think he went 12, 13 deep this game. You're not going to see that every game, but even me and Jordan were out there. You know, my son were talking about it. Like, can you go this deep?
11 guys got double digits minutes tonight,
bro. I love it. The Bulls are littered with talent, and it's all about them being able to close out games and keeping their foot on the neck, so to say, of the opponent, because they were up 24 to on the Pacers. And this is a young rebuilding team. They are in the Victor W sweepstakes.
Wembayama home. What'd you say?
Wembayama. But I like this Pacers squad as currently constructed. You see a lot of young talent. That Jalen Smith was knocking down threes. He's their 6'9" power forward. We already like Tyrese Halliburton. We talked about him. We knew he was special when he was on the Kings. Obviously, Buddy Hield's still stroking it. The Bulls let the Pacers get back into this game.
How nasty would the Bulls be if they had Halliburton instead of P. Will?
Oh, man. Well,
I don't know how that would construct. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, I'm going to give props to our current point guard.
Yeah,
the guy
I was going to say.
I was doing a great job.
Yes, the second year man, 12 points tonight, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. That's what you like to see from your point guard. And, man, you know, it's been a real solid pickup for the Bulls.
Goran Dragic, the House of Dragic.
Remember when we had that conversation? I think it was season 1 or season 2 when I brought it up. Who's had the better career, Dragic or D Rose?
Derrick Rose. I don't know if we should keep talking about that on the Chicago Sports Podcast because
look, I talk about whatever I want. Opinions are clearly mine. I don't care about the comments, opinions. I know people be soft as hell about that shit.
Soft as hell about
They
it.
still talk about it today. I saw something today where they're talking about, Thibodeau's ruined his career again because he's only giving them a certain amount of minutes or something. I'm like, get out of here.
I mean, I don't think, I'm going to be honest, I don't think Derrick Rose, even though we're getting off on a tangent here, I don't think Derrick Rose finishes this season with the New York
Maybe he
Knicks.
comes back here and we got a certain. It'll be hard to get some minutes here.
I don't know, but
Kobe White's been playing great, shooting off the bench.
He's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's knocking down that 3 ball. That's really all we need him to do. Because like we're talking about Goran Dragic, and I wanted to bring it up. He's the calming effect on this squad. When the team's getting a little frazzled and they have a lead and they start losing it, he's the hand that can stir the pot and kind of steer the ship and steady things. He's the veteran presence.
Man, that second unit though, that's almost like
him and Andre Drummond have a very good rapport going on.
Drummond says something about them, man. It's almost like a second starting unit, and you're seeing that as well.
We're bringing back the bench mob.
It's been there, been done that. I don't think they need to continue it, but it is what it is. Bulls tonight shot almost 50% from the field goal range, 53% from the 3-point, and about 92% from the charity line. Those numbers will get it done for you.
Yeah, I really Zach LaVine kind of had a quiet night, even though he finished with 28. He had a quiet 28.
Those are the best.
And I'll take that. Like I said, I don't want to see Zach forcing his offense. You do not need to force it. Even DeMar didn't have a great night stats wise. If you bet on DeMar in a parlay, he probably busted it because you're gonna guess DeMar's gonna go off for 25 or at least 20. But no, that didn't happen tonight, which is fine. We don't need DeMar to score. And when I say we, I keep doing this, and my apologies. The Bulls do not need DeMar scoring 27 points per game. He only had this game 17. I'll take the 17 because the stat sheet was filled up by the rest of the squad. Everybody was just picking up each other, and I thought it was a very, very good team win. Once again, I don't like to see
where they
up
took
24
the foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, and that was actually one of my concerns about this game when you're looking at it on the schedule and like, oh yeah, that should be a win, but that could be a trap game too. Because, like I said, they're playing a Rick Carlisle, young, up-and-coming, hungry squad in a rebuilding mode. You know, these type of teams are going to give you their best effort, even though they don't have the talent, so to speak, to keep up with these elite teams. But you never know. You got to respect who you're playing. And the Bulls, like we were just talking about, they let their foot off the gas. That was it. They let Buddy Hield start stroking. They let Jalen Smith. I wasn't really too familiar with Jalen Smith's game, but I am now. The 6'9" power forward can definitely stroke it from the outside.
He can shoot it. There's other advantages other than stroking.
He can stroke it. No,
he put a dinger on here.
He was letting it fly. But they got Neesmith in the Malcolm Brogdon, the Celtics trade. He's a nice young player. They're set up. They're going to be a couple stars away from having a very, very strong squad. But the Indiana Pacers, once again, rebuilding, but their future is going to be bright in Indiana.
You're joining us here, the Chicago Bulls top with the Indiana Pacers, 124-109 tonight at the United Center, sending the fans home in a joyous, joyous, joyous night. Anytime you win the rebounding battle and the assist battle, I'd like to think you give yourself a good chance. Points in the paint, big time, 46 for the Bulls, 34 for the Pacers, right there leading the lead, having an advantage as well there. And I always feel those are important points to. If you notice, the offense just runs so much smoother, and it just makes more. As much as we've modernized this game and wanted everyone shoot from three and this and that, it really still runs through the post, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, at least for this team, the way we're constructed, I don't know. I mean, that might not be applicable to a team out in West.
No, especially when you have such a talented passer like we do in Vooch. Vooch is a very, very talented passer when it comes to a big man. I think he's just a talented passer in general. So you're much better off getting him the ball, letting him get touches, but also dictating the offense too. He's tall. He can see over defenders. He's finding the open guys.
Another thing that I've noticed that's jumped out in the as the Bulls moved to 3-2 tonight, the 5th game of the season, as we just started this season, they continued. I think the 3-point shot, you can tell that Io was probably in the offseason working on that. It just seems quicker, more confident, and he seems like he's hitting it at a higher clip. What do you think about that, Mike?
He just looks like a veteran out there, and yes, you can obviously see that he was working on his 3-point shooting. He shoots it with a lot of confidence. He lets it fly. He doesn't have any second thoughts. He's taking the ball to the basket very, very strong. Like I said, he looks like he's been playing in the league at least 5 seasons. So he's earned that starting role, and he's flourishing in it right now. Lonzo Ball, you better get back sooner than later, man. You might not have a job to come back to.
Nah, get out of here, dude. Jesus Christ.
No. I'm hoping that Io can be that guy.
I mean, eventually, if it comes down to it and you can, move ship, this is further down the line, then why not? But at the moment, man, you definitely want to see this lineup with a healthy ball. Take as much time as you need to get back healthy, and this thing will be running. That second unit with Io on it wouldn't even be right.
Look,
you get stroked out.
AK and Mark Eversley have done, in my opinion, and I'm sure you agree, they've done a really good job with upgrading this roster.
Okay, so one of the things then inevitably, as we circle back to it, P. Will so far on the season, he's been very quiet tonight. Not as aggressive as you would say, it was what you like, but that's to be expected, especially with someone that's playing against, first options, playing with first options like Levine and DeRozan. You're not going to get your touches as much. I think you got to really run the court hard and try to clean the glass, do the dirty work to go ahead and go about that route. But like we alluded to today, challenge from his brother. What are your thoughts so far about P. Will, Mike? Is it still upside? Are you worried? Are we trending down? Should we cut the bum? What are you thinking?
Well, I definitely don't think we should cut him, and I'm definitely not gonna call him a bum, because I know there's people out there calling him a bum and a bust. Me personally, I've said I thought Javonte Green earned that starting power forward bid. I thought he earned that spot. He outplayed P. Will, in my opinion, and he also gave P. Will a blueprint for how he should be playing. How to get those hustle points. Javonte Green's constantly moving without the ball. He's getting second chance points off rebounds, and this is things that P. Will can do. Because Billy's not going to run plays for him. Someone's like the other day, why don't they run plays for P. Will? Why am I going to run plays for P. Will when I have 2 guys that score over 25 points per game? You know what I mean? So He can continue to contribute in other areas. He doesn't have to be a volume shooter. Tonight was a good example of things P. Will can do. I would like to see the average raise a little bit more than 10 points per game, especially when you draft someone number 4th. But that's besides the point. I thought P. Will played just fine in his 15 minutes. Me personally, I'm not comfortable with him only playing 15 minutes. I would also like to see him out there at the end of the game.
I mean, whose minutes are you going to cut into? Javonte's? That's pretty much his primary backup, right?
Yeah.
So Javonte was 17 tonight. You like to see P. Will take about 5 more minutes out of there?
As long as they're both contributing, though. There's nothing Javonte Green did that could make me demote minutes from him.
Javonte in 17 minutes tonight, he had 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist.
But he was everywhere too. It's hustle, Like I said, his offense or his defense transfers over to his offense. Like he's just a machine. He's constantly moving,
and so much energy he brings. If you had that alley-oop from Goran, that it just ignites a crowd, and it gets the team a little more pep in their step, and he certainly brings that. Another signing that we want to talk about so far, I noticed this right away in the preseason as well. I was like, man, I always thought Andre Drummond couldn't even jump over a phone book, but he's looking extra springy, and he's looking good, man. From what I've seen so far this season, aggressive, showing you that at one point he was an all-star in this league, and certainly someone that can provide quality minutes, a big off the bench. What have been your thoughts and impressions so far this season of Andre Drummond, Mike?
I think Andre Drummond has been an incredible offseason signing, and I think an underrated signing. I don't think we expected him to play even this well, but him and Goran, just in that second unit, they run things, and he's such an upgrade from what we had last year with Tony Bradley out there, Tristan Thompson. Even though Tristan didn't play bad, he can't do what Andre Drummond
offensively
does.
no.
But Andre just looks like he got himself in really good shape. We have to remember this man is only 28. It seems like he's been in the league forever.
I'd have thought he about 35.
He's just a rebounding machine. He's one of the best rebounding big men of all time.
Hey, in 17 minutes.
By the numbers.
17 minutes tonight, he had 8 points, 13 rebounds, and 1 assist to speak to his cleaning of the glasses, you like to say about his prowess.
He had a big put down, like a huge alley-oop put down. He's really working on the glass, too. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Andre Drummond. I'm sure Bulls fans are now understanding why people were so excited when Andre Drummond, because there were a lot of people on the fence, it seems like, when the Bulls got Andre Drummond. Like, yeah, Andre Drummond, yeah, whatever. No, this is a former All-Star. Like this is a double-double machine. He wasn't in a starting role anymore, but you can slide him into a starting role. Absolutely. So I love what I'm seeing from our big man in general.
So far, 5 games through the season, Mike, how excited are you about this Bulls season right now?
Man, I tell you, after that,
they could have. They get easily 5-0
after the losses to the Wizards lost. It was disappointing, but that was a tough game. And I told you that was going to be a tough game. Remember?
The Wizards, man, they garbage. They garbage today. They garbage tomorrow. And they were garbage yesterday.
And the Wizards have a closer. Bradley Beal closed out that game because he didn't play great. He didn't have big numbers. Like he averaged 33 the year prior or whatever. He didn't have those type of numbers. But when it came down to it, you saw why he gets paid the $250 million, whatever he gets. It was the Cleveland loss.
They got schmacked.
It was that was like, oh no. We're going in the wrong direction. Cleveland just got a whole lot better. Cleveland is a fantastic squad, and then the addition of Donovan Mitchell with Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, that is a tough squad. Oh, I can't forget Karis LeVert. That is a tough squad. That is going to be a tough game whenever they play the Bulls for the foreseeable future. But I was really down with the effort. Like to get smacked like that. But to answer your question, because I went around about...
What's the sky's the limit here? Are we dancing in Grand Park? What's going on? Too early? Obviously it's too early, but I don't know. I mean, they put that... Like you said, I was really down with that performance, the effort.
Yeah, the Cleveland
And then
game.
they came back and smacked the Celtics, who I've said are frauds. They've been frauds. Jason Tatum ain't never winning a damn title in his life.
Vegas has them winning the title again.
I don't care what Vegas got. I'm telling you right here on that podcast, Ideal, he ain't ever winning nothing.
You're gonna owe me, man. You're gonna owe me.
He ain't owing you nothing. He still probably got cases out here pending.
When Boston got up 36-19 on the Bulls, I'm like, here we go again with this shit. And the Bulls seem to have a switch that they can turn on. And I don't want to continue seeing the switch though. When they're fighting from behind.
No, yeah.
Because they're just wasting energy. So I would really like to see the Bulls keep things a lot closer instead of getting down 10, 12, 14, whatever, because they got down to the Miami Heat by 17 as well. So,
it's been a mixed bag.
It's hard to gauge.
It's early.
It's too early in the season.
But we're liking the depth right now. I
told you I think this team is going to be the 7th squad in the East when everything's all said and done.
7th squad. Ooh,
it's tough.
No, man.
Who we got out there? We got Veronica Gonzalez saying, "Hey guys, what's up?
What's going on, man?
What are your thoughts on the game, Veronica?" Big Z, how's it going? Oh, we got Jordan Cruz out here. He's been talking.
Jordan's been yapping at you. He says you really did talk a lot about stroking.
I thought Bailey knows ball.
Yeah. Cruz, anytime you want to step in here and take over.
I don't think I said anything false. I do like what you did with the bullish babble here, Ideal. I'm digging it. But back to
so far, this is what it is through the season. The Bulls moved to 3-2. defeating the Indiana Pacers tonight, 124-109 at the United Center. Overall, great performance by the team. Coming up this week on Friday, they travel to the San Antonio to take on the Spurs. Quick thoughts on any thoughts you have on the Spurs as a team right now?
The Spurs are going to be much like the Indiana Pacers.
Are they going to be fighting for Victor?
They're fighting with the Pacers for Victor. It's a tug of war. Both teams are going to play hard though. So there's some players on the Spurs too that can make some noise. Keldon Johnson's really good. Vesley, I think his name is. You're in for a fight. So you better throw the first knockout blow and then just keep your foot on their necks, like we're talking about.
Would this be one of the nights that you would look to load manage Levine's knee, considering you have a back-to-back and you travel back home on Saturday to take on the 76ers? I mean, they said that he's not playing back to back, and if I have my druthers, I'd rather have him against the Sixers
I
than
would
the Spurs.
definitely rather have him against the Sixers because if they're not just going to limit.
Well, heck, you know what? He might as well not even make the trip out to San Antonio. Just go on, stay home. Stay home right now. It's Wednesday night. Chill. We'll come catch you up on the rebound for Saturday morning.
They play in Philadelphia, right?
No, they play in Chicago.
They play in Chicago. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Just let him chill at home. You don't gotta roll nowhere.
76ers been struggling, but 76ers are a team
it's one of the marquee
that could be a
contenders.
top five. That's a top five team.
All
in the East,
all the eyes will be on that game, so that's a national, kind of game that everyone's going to be looking to tune in and make a lot of predictions and say this and that about who's doing what in this young season. So what do you think on this weekend? What do you got the Bulls doing, Mike?
I think the Bulls can win both those games. So I'm saying 5-2. We're gonna be 5-2 after this weekend.
Ooh, 5-2 after Saturday night. That's what Mike is saying. I don't want to disagree with him because I'm always, like I tell you what, on the other things, it was Chicago Bears versus the Hurricane. I got the Bears plus 10, So I definitely agree with you, though. I do see them taking on the Spurs. Spurs is always a tough team. They're always going to scrap, play hard. But like you're saying, they're playing for the number one pick more than likely. And then the 76ers struggling, but they got the loaded talent named Power, so we shall see.
Yeah, the Bulls are going to out-talent the Spurs. It's really the 76ers that concern me.
All right, well, hopefully 5-2, but we're definitely going to try to keep it and checking in with you guys. This is something we want to do after every game. We're going to, as best as we can. Obviously things get in the way, especially if you're sick like a little bit right now, but we get it done.
Yeah, we'll definitely give you guys a notice, the day of, if we're going to go live, and you can come join us because we want to hear you guys' thoughts too. So we'll respond. Just make a comment in the Bullish Babble.
Bullish Babble.
And we'll be happy to answer whatever questions you have or react to any of your comments. Because, just like Veronica says, I love the Bulls. Yeah, we love the Bulls too. So that's why we do this.
Good stuff, Mike. Well, season 3 starting a little delayed, but we got out the gates, eventually. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. How you feeling, big guy?
I'm loving this. I'm glad we could be back here talking about basketball with my best friend, Ideal. On that podcast, it's a dream come true. I'm glad we can do this again. I'm digging the setup. I really like how this is looking here on the camera.
I suck at NBA 2K says Io is great. Man, for a second-year guy, he should have never went in the second round. That just goes to show you sometimes these people, these experts and analysts, they just don't know what they're looking about.
Pretty sure I suck at NBA 2K is Griffin. What up, Griff? Javante is looking like most improved so far. Javante, I've been impressed with Javante the past 2 seasons. I was definitely impressed with him last season. I feel like he just picked up from where he left off last season. So Javante's doing what Javante does. He's 28. It seems like it just took him a little bit of time and opportunity to really make a mark on a squad. And he's definitely got a home in Chicago, and I'm glad they re-signed him.
Yeah. The squad looks talented. I'm going to argue with Mike and say I don't see them finishing 7th. I see them better, but I don't know. That might be the homer in me. So
I also thought the Brooklyn Nets would look a lot better already, and they're struggling.
I'd be remiss on the All Net podcast if we did not mention Mike Logic's childhood team from the Great Western Forum. when he used
I
to
don't see
travel
how this
down the
is relevant.
I-10.
I don't see-
It's always going to be relevant. I can sideswipe them. So before we get up out of here, let's talk real quick about your Lakers. What's going on? Are they still 0-0? I believe so, huh? They're playing tonight,
They're
right?
they're playing the Nuggets right now, I believe.
Ugh.
I'll go watch it.
Are they gonna go 0-13, or they gonna finally get one?
I think Kendrick Nunn's gonna take over this game
Well,
and the West while he's at it.
He's gonna. I was told one time by Mike Logic last year that Kendrick Nunn was gonna switch the tides of power in the West once he returned, and alas, that did not occur.
Big Z says Green is what Tyrese Thomas should have been. Tyrese Thomas was a lot taller too. Just
Nah, really? I mean, how tall is Javante?
Javonte's 6'4".
He's only 6'4", 6'5"?
He's a 6'4". He's a small 6'5".
Man, Tyrese Thomas.
He
is
plays
6'9".
big though. The Lakers' problem is they have nobody that can shoot the ball on the squad. And they made such a such a big deal about Pat Bev. Like this is the signing that was going to put him over the top. And they just need to keep him on the bench. Like really, he's not a viable option for them.
Westbrook already got a little supposed hammy or something.
Yeah, they need to just trade him. They need to do whatever they can to get Buddy Hield, the guy we saw tonight light up the Bulls. They need to go get that guy. They've been trying to get him. They should have got him before they signed Westbrook. And they shouldn't have extended Rob Pelinka because of that and losing DeMar DeRozan to the Chicago Bulls. Thank you, Rob Pelinka. But the Lakers are a mess right now. There's plenty of time for them to get their act together, but they have absolutely no outside shooting. Teams are just laying off them and daring them to shoot. And people in the stands are just gasping when Russell Westbrook shoots. His own fans. Or fans of the Lakers, I should say, are just upset when he shoots the ball, and it's not. They need to get rid of Westbrook for his career, for the direction of the squad, because it's just not a good look. It's not a fit at all, and LeBron deserves better. That's it.
I Suck at NBA mentioned that he thinks the Bulls probably about the 4th or 5th seed with Lonzo their top 3 in the East.
He said Lakers are getting smacked to it.
Yep. He brought up Tyrese Thomas. Tyrese Thomas was no dog. Javante is a dog.
Tyrese had his moments.
Let me ask you, who was the worst player, Tyrese Thomas or Marcus Fizer?
I'd say Marcus Fizer, especially if the expectations for Marcus Fizer.
Boy, I'll never forget the time I was in a boxing class and I saw Marcus Fizer get lit up by a 50-year-old man on a basketball court, and I was just like, trash.
Corey Benjamin was another bad draft pick.
We're talking about we're sticking at power forward types. We ain't just throwing around random things. Keep with the thing. Mike, before we get out of here, anything you want to say to the folks?
No, thank you guys. Other than thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Like I said, this is interactive, so by all means, please ask us questions. We will answer to the best of our abilities, showcasing our basketball acumen for those who believe and who don't believe. It will be on display after most Bulls games. Like Ideal said, we're gonna do our best to broadcast our thoughts and reactions to the games. But we won't make everyone, but we'll try to make as many as possible. And thank you for rocking with All Net. Shout out to our sponsors, 606 Media, and of course the mighty Shad Native Entertainment.
Yeah, shout out y'all over there at True Chicago Sports Fans as